Hi, I'm Kristen Bell. Carvana makes car buying easy. Isn't that right, hun? Dax? Dax?
Sorry, did you know about this 7-day money-back guarantee?
A week to evaluate seat comfiness, you say?
A week of terrain tests? Yeah, I can test the brake pad resistance at variable speeds.
Make sure all the kids' stuff fits nicely.
Make sure our stuff fits nicely.
Oh,
Right. Still need to buy the car. Getting ahead of ourselves here.
Buy your car with Carvana today.
We off?
30 seconds of carefree bliss.
Oof, like wind in your hair carefree.
Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree.
Yes!
Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree.
He's on a roll now.
Spit toothpaste on the faucet.
You got it. You got it.
Peanut butter on the light switch.
Oh, spritz, spritz.
Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back.
Use as directed.
Hey guys, have you heard of Goldbelly? It's this amazing site where they ship the most iconic, famous foods from restaurants across the country, anywhere, nationwide. I've never found a more perfect gift than food. Goldbelly ships Chicago deep dish pizza, New York bagels, Maine lobster rolls, and even Ina Garden's famous cakes. So, if you're looking for a gift for the food lover in your life, head to goldbelly.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code GIFT. That's goldbelly.com, promo code GIFT.
Episode 5, The Heart of the Mountain. Beneath the land of Kaa'Riin there are many secrets. There are lies, of course. There is history. And now, at this very moment, there are heroes trapped in a cavern of flooding water, and far closer to death than any of them thought they would be. But there can be no heroes without adversity. Welcome back to Girls Who Don't D&D. Ladies, at this stage of your burgeoning D&D careers, what advice would you have for new players?
I would say not to overthink it too much before, because when I came into it, I had already constructed a game in my head, and then when we didn't play that game, I was like, oh, okay, I have to rework this. So I really did overthink.
So don't think. That's a good start. Don't think.
I think my advice would be the fun is in the failure. Like, I love trying a really bold move that doesn't make any real actual sense and then rolling low and being like, well, that's awkward. I think the fun is in the failure. Trying to win every time probably isn't as fun of a story. There's a bit of fun in not getting it right.
Yeah, I love that in some respect we've all come from backgrounds that love stories. And so for me, you're right, I'm happier to lose in a great story than win in a boring one. But as a person who's running a game, that can be hard to do, because we've had things where you've wanted to use anything other than your axe. And I'm like, no, use the axe. I know, but at the same time, I want to keep going, you know what, hell no, kick that woman in the head. It's much funnier than going, I'll kick her with the axe. But a player would probably go, well, this is the smartest thing to do at this time. It'll maximise the amount of things. And it's not as interesting to play.
It'd be like watching Indiana Jones going like, all right, I'm going to go get this from the temple, and then he just goes and does it, and then it's like, all right, well, let's call that a day.
That was easy. What do you got?
I guess, like, in combination with what you guys have said, because I know there's like rules and the whole community out there, and like you're supposed to do things a certain way, and I think if you're a new player, that can be really overwhelming. I guess going into it to have fun and not letting potentially other people, like, outside of that, tell you how to play. Like, if you're enjoying what you're doing, enjoy what you're doing.
There are a lot of people who think they know how to play this game, and I think the only people who are right are the ones who say, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think we're very fortunate. We've got, I think what we're doing in many ways is trying to find people who want to start just like this and do find the game overwhelming. It's ridiculously overpowering when you sit down and grab the rule book, things like that. But there are great little starter sets that get people going. But the trick is sit down and don't care if you make a mistake. And the other one, I guess, is that some people play the game like there's an opponent that I'm actually against you and you're against me. And that can be really damaging, I think. I don't want to kill all the characters. I will if I think that's...
If we say we're going to jump into lava, you're not going to save us. You are going to die.
Yeah, but there are other times when I'm like, the dice are going to tell the story, and hopefully it's not going to go that way. But the dice will tell the story, but it's not me going, ha, I destroyed you. Because I can do that by just going, oh, the cavern collapses. The end. Boring as hell. All right, are we ready to play?
Yes.
Let's get started.
It's just 3 girls, a dragon, and a handful of dice. Some guys telling stories, I'm sure they'll be nice. There will be monsters, and magic, and fire and ice. But it's mostly 3 girls, a dragon, and dice.
We begin the episode in dark caverns filling with swirling water. Kaa'Riin has just been magically transported back from an open wasteland beneath a mountain range where she encountered a sleuth of bears. Yes, that's right. I found out what the collective noun for bears was.
Sleuth?
A sleuth or a sloth. It's kind of up to you. But I think a sloth of sloths would...
Yeah, I was going to say
doesn't feel
a sloth
special.
of sloths.
Yeah, it doesn't seem right, does it?
Sleuth of bears.
Anyway, they apparently were all druids who awoke within Kaa'Riin her very own ability to wild shape into creatures by turning her into a bear too.
Sorry, I had to Google collective noun for sloth. It's a snuggle.
Oh!
A snuggle of sloths is pretty cool.
Oh my god,
That's
I've got
awesome.
goosebumps. That was so adorable.
Snuggle of sloth.
But yes, we digress.
I think it fits.
Quite nicely.
Abruptly, Kaa'Riin was dragged back through space and time or something like that into the caverns. Freya and Morrigan continued to battle the elusive assassin, following her through the magical map to another lighthouse where they appeared to have thwarted an assassination attempt, before also being flung back into this very cavern. The swirling water in the cavern is now rising, flowing from the tunnels on one side of the tunnel to the other like wild rapids, splashing high into the remaining air. Speaking of remains, what remains of the mystical map is swirling in an eddy, and while only Morrigan can see it, it is clear that most of it has been destroyed by fire. Only a nondescript corner of it remains, and perhaps that's why you were all brought back so quickly. The map was destroyed.
So our map's gone.
There's a bit in the corner going around the water, the map that you used to touch to go all those places.
Oh crap, anyone got a spell to like... It's like Harry Potter, has anyone got a spell to like fix things, like when they fixed his glasses?
Remarkably, yes, there is a mending spell, but you have to have enough pieces of it, and none of you have it.
None of us... Okay, that's good to know.
Morrigan, you have reached a ledge, but your friends are being swept away below. You see 2 hands, more accurately, you see a bear's paw, and Freya's hand reaching through the water. Now, before we get started, let's do a quick update. How many hit points does everyone have?
14.
18.
6. I'm doing well.
Can Morrigan grab the map and just get out?
It's probably in the corner, but can she leave? Just, whoo!
I can't get to it because I can't swim currently.
She is a large rocky
I will
person.
drown
Yeah.
if I go in that water.
And we should explain what that means, but before this episode began, there was some wild magic craziness. So Morrigan currently has a version of something called stone skin, or we probably should call it lighthouse skin, which makes her much harder to hit in combat, but also makes swimming and jumping virtually impossible. Kaa'Riin, your axe is now kind of like Thor's hammer. You can throw it, and it will go... and come. I'm not even changing that sound effect later. That was spot on.
That was good.
Right back into your hand. And Freya, you were magically merged with the window of perpetual breeze, which has made you quite gassy and not in the cool Willy Wonka way. And you also managed to merge with Vinegar, the insult door, which means you have the constant urge to insult everyone when you speak to them. Kaa'Riin still has the power to detect magic through merging with Kuzo's glasses. And Morrigan's dark vision behaves more like a light beaming from a lighthouse, which extends from her head. Now I'm going to roll secretly, so every time you use those skills I'm going to roll secretly and determine whether or not those skills are still operational. They could just vanish at a moment's notice.
I have established that despite all my spelliness, I am pretty weak in terms of like physical strength, acrobatics, and any other like useful skill. So I'm sorry, I don't think I could literally help a bear.
Bear.
I'm hoping that you have like other avenues that you could use to not die here, because
First of all, I'd like
suck.
to thank you for thinking of me.
Yeah. I'm just taking the time here to discuss it with
But
my
I don't
girls.
think you even know that's me at this point. I'm just a random bear, aren't I?
No, I think you did have a bit of a speech telling them who you were.
I got to have the mind connect with them.
Yeah, you still have your tattoos that allow you to speak, and I do think they believed you. We never really checked it whether
Never
they
really
believed
checked
you.
in.
I believed you. I think Freya was still running.
Yeah, I was. I think I was.
Oh, yeah, you ran.
I didn't like bears.
You were fine with it.
So I'm going to reach out and attempt to help Freya.
Yay.
Excellent.
Thank you,
Freya,
mullet lady.
Freya, you see Morrigan reach down for me. Give me a dexterity or a strength check. You can pick which one suits you in the situation. And I have a list of things that could happen if it's dexterity.
4 plus 3, 7.
Ah.
It's not a good sound, is it?
No, this is bad. The swirling water drags you under, and you take a huge mouthful. It tastes a little bit unusual, both metallic and light, like sparkling water.
I peed in it.
Or whatever.
It's bear pee.
Bear urine? Could taste, smell, taste? None of us want to know either of those things, do we? That's horrible. Now, in this situation, you're going to take what we call a level of exhaustion. So just by going under one more time, mouthful of water, all that sort of stuff, you become a little bit more tired. Not surprisingly, like someone who is actually drowning, but this goes across any sort of event where it's overwhelming. Your first level of exhaustion means that you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Can do.
Yeah, it's not great. The other thing is, to lose that, you actually have to have a rest, like a long rest will take off one level of exhaustion.
Where's Luton Dutch?
They're gone.
Oh. Did they go in the map? Did they just leave us?
They touched the map when you touched the map, but they didn't end up in any of the places you ended up.
Right.
And they also haven't come back yet.
When his fear finally abated, Kuzo stood before a towering creature. It did not move though, a slight sway perhaps. It lowered itself to the ground, 4 paws displacing the dust. As its shoulder became visible, Kuzo squinted, suddenly aware of his missing glasses, then smiled. "Well, isn't this fortunate?" he said. "Just give me a moment." Its head tilted in question, but with the absence of any other choice, it waited anyway. The goblin waved his fingers together and apart, weaving illusions until a sigil of sorts was formed, hovering in the air between his palms. He pushed it forward and watched as the shape embedded itself in the creature's skin. "Just like mine," Kuzo smiled. "And trust me, I don't share mine very often. Now, you hear me, right?" "Yes, indeed," came the reply. "Now, would you mind explaining where you came from?" Kuzo's explanation would have confused most, but not this creature, a huge bear with the face of an owl and 2 wings curled into its back. "Wait," it said. "Did you say a Leonin pirate and a mouseling were right behind you?" "Well, yes, I did," said Kuzo. "And it's a map that takes you," it questioned. Yes, where you need to be," Kuzo smiled. The creature laughed. "You might want to stand aside. I think we're going to have more guests."
I kind of always forget about those guys until I get hurt. Then I'm like, where's Lou at?
They do tend to be there at
Where's
the last
my
second.
ex? That little guy hangs out with.
Your ex. And he's constantly going, we don't know each other.
What's the saying? They're like blisters. They show up when the hard work's done.
But no, they're gone. They're gone, and there's no real evidence of them at this stage.
I let them go in that first episode in the ship anyway. I was like, bye, guys.
As soon as Dutch hit the water, most of you let him go. Okay, so you've got a little bit of exhaustion. There are 6 levels of exhaustion. The 6th level is called death. Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
Radio. We might just wrap it up now then.
We're only on the first level. Kaa'Riin, having returned from such an extraordinary journey, your mind is racing with questions. Who were they? Where was I? Am I going to drown? Why am I a bear? What else can I be? And then you feel something from within. The souls of dozens of creatures, each calling upon you to take their form. So you now have the ability to wild shape. And normally that's the ability to turn into any animal you've ever seen, but in this world it's a little different. Here the druids take on the souls of the dying animals, willing dying animals. You don't just kill an animal and get to be it.
Oh, I like that clause that stops people from being like...
Well, it's the druids here, but more like a vet. So they're good people, and you get a kind of symbiotic existence. The animals live with you, and they have their momentary moments of freedom, and that's just a bonus action, which means you can do that as part of your turn and still move and take an action like attacking something. Turn into an animal, and then beat something.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. You can also change between animals. So you can say, I'm this animal now, but I'd rather be this animal in a second. Unfortunately, you're not quite powerful enough to turn into animals that can swim or fly, which would be rather handy right now.
A platypus.
I've seen bears swim.
Yeah, they're
they are
kind
quite
of
good.
They're quite good to get that salmon, that sweet salmon.
They usually just stand in shallow water and grab them.
And spiders in Australia can hold their breath underwater for a very long time,
Can
like
they?
days.
Days.
I'm not even kidding. Days.
Look, last week I believed you when you said sniffle shake was legitimately cocaine, and this week I am not going with you. While you are that animal, you get their hit points as well, which can be very handy. So they can have a large amount of hit points. Some of them have got up to 30, or the ones you can be now, which means you might be in a bit of hit point danger, turn into an animal. So right now as a bear, you've actually got more than hit points that Kaa'Riin has. But when you lose those hit points, you go back to Kaa'Riin's level of hit points. Does that make sense? Okay. You can revert back to yourself as a bonus action as well. So if you want to be, I'd rather just be me again, you can just choose to do that as a bonus action, which still gives you a normal turn to do other things like run, attack, jump.
Okay, I like that.
And you can use the wild shape ability twice between long rests.
Right.
All right. You're also in danger and your giant bear body is being swept away. So Morrigan can't grab you. You just probably pull her in anyway. And you can feel the tide pulling you towards one of the tunnels.
Well, I just turn back into myself because I can swim. So I'm going to do that.
I don't know, I thought you'd be one of the animals.
I can't. None of them can swim.
Okay.
Show me what. Okay, cat. That's not going to happen.
No, that's true. Don't be a cat.
Wolf.
No.
Not a fan.
No.
Spider.
No.
No. Oh, sorry, I'm not done. A rat. None of them strong swimmers.
That's true. That's true. You are probably the strongest of the swimmers amongst these things.
When I looked at my animals, I was like, I think this is on me.
Okay, Kaa'Riin, you do swim closer to the edge of the cavern wall, but it takes a double movement just to get the normal distance because the water is so strong. And it is beating you. Okay, Morrigan, what would you like to do? You've just seen Freya go under the water again. She'll probably bob back up. Possibly.
And I don't have my staff anymore to reach out to her because I broke it in half and put it in the backpack that I'm assuming is now part of you.
Is that part of me? Is that inside of me?
Yeah, it just happens to, it just merges in. I believe that's the staff of many pieces. Is that what it's called?
The staff.
What is around me? Can I roll for perception to see what's going on and what's around me?
All right, not a bad idea. Let's see what you got.
Okay. What are we starting with, people?
16.
Woo!
Nice job.
Not a 1.
Not bad.
Good. 1.
You look across the cavern and see someone else reaching towards the water to try and save Freya. And that someone else looks just like you.
Ooh.
Oh, that shape-shifting bitch.
I guess you all have to come back the same way, right?
Oh, that dog.
She went through the map. You went through. You got pulled back by the map. She got pulled back by the map. She was where you were. The part of the map that she was in burnt as well.
Yeah.
She's right there with you. Now, you don't know that. You just see her hand coming down.
Classic.
And think it's Morrigan.
You do.
But I do.
What a fool.
Right. Can I just clarify?
Fool.
Is the shape-shifting person, is that the assassin? Is the assassin also... Okay,
It is,
cool.
and she's seen you, so she can be you.
Right.
She's actually in a good spot to help.
Yeah.
But she's also in a good spot to kill us. So there's
Well,
that.
she wouldn't have to reach for her if she was killing her.
Oh, that's such a good point.
So I shouldn't just shoot fire at her.
I know, so it's got to go in your mind a little bit, isn't it? I'm letting you make your own decision, but I'm like, just weigh it up.
Why is she doing that?
But if you're close enough to reach that ledge, you'll be fine.
Having gone under the water once already, and actually, as I said, she now has disadvantage on ability checks, which includes things like, it does make things...
If I call out and let you know that that's not me, and you don't reach out for her, you might be screwed.
And she's also underwater, so...
And there's nothing else that I've noticed. I'm still stuck on this ledge.
No, that pretty much took most of your attention when, as you said, you
fair
looked
enough.
up, saw another version of
It's
you.
like, that's me.
And she just happens to be in a position to reach for Freya.
She's not reaching for her. She's in a position.
Well, no, she's reaching. She's offering a hand above the water.
All right, you know what? I'm going to yell out to Kaa'Riin and point out Cloney McClonison over there.
Kaa'Riin, 2d20, and we'll do perception. Let's see whether you're in a position to actually do something about that. And I'm going to see, unfortunately, that you're probably at disadvantage. So 2d20. And even though she's telling you, you might have difficulty actually... You probably believe her, but can't prove it. So that doesn't
right now, have I just turned back to myself in the water and I'm still being swept out to sea?
You swept out to the next tunnel.
What a slide.
Okay, what's the lowest of the two?
That would be a 1 and a 1. So...
You're
Did you roll
kidding!
2 ones?
That's a great start to the
All
day.
right. Not only do you not see what she's talking about, it makes absolutely no sense to you, as it probably wouldn't. You know, someone yelled out to you, "Hey, look, there's another version of me over there," and you've gone, "Okay." Okay. Right back round to Freya. Freya, there is a hand reaching for you from the top of the water.
I'm going to take the hand.
You're going to take the hand. All right. Again, dexterity or strength check, and now.
It was 19.
It was 19, I saw it.
And you have to roll 2. So whatever this one is.
16.
Okay. You went for dexterity or strength?
Dexterity.
All right. You grab the hand and find yourself safely pulled to the ledge. And standing right before you is Morrigan. The water continues to rush by as you heave over the side, of course. And Morrigan says, you get to play both of them.
Aw, really?
Yeah. What do you think Morrigan the Changeling would now say?
Is there any exit that she has to?
No, she's in exactly the same lack of boat that you were in. What do you think she'd say?
I think she'd say, she's followed us and she's got my face. And point across at the other Morrigan.
Girl, why are you playing yourself like that?
That was so cool. Damn, that is exactly...
Sorry. You asked me to play evil!
I know, that was so good. Okay. Kaa'Riin, what are you going to do?
I'd also like to do a perception check, though. Well, where am I going? Through a tunnel?
Yeah, it's dragging you towards a tunnel, and from what you look at, when you're looking at that tunnel, you're thinking, if I go into that, I haven't got many days left.
So we're using perception to look for other ledges and stuff to get to?
Just to see what was around.
Yeah, good idea. And,
Yeah.
and that one, I would say, just a normal perception roll, just a d20, no disadvantage.
16.
16. You can see that, of course, as you get closer to the tunnel, it wouldn't be too hard to... Well, it would be pretty hard to stop yourself from going through because the water is above the tunnel a little bit, so you could probably grasp against it, and if you could figure out a way up that wall, that would make life a little bit easier for you. What would you like to do now?
I'm just going to hook it with my axe.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm going to hook it with my axe, and I'm just going to, just hang there for, I guess. I like it. Well, what did you say was up the top of the tunnel, sorry?
At the top of this,
like this, so
above
we're going through a tunnel
above
above
it.
it.
It's mostly rock and, mossy sort of stuff, some weeds and rock.
Yeah,
and
so I'm going to just be, rushing through, but I'm just going to, whoosh, with my axe.
All right. Let's do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's for me as a strength check. And
Okay, so what I'm going to do, now I'm of the understanding that if I rage out, I can roll at an advantage. Would that be correct?
I think it's a brilliant idea.
I would like to rage out.
Do it. So
While
you're raging
I'm
out.
doing this.
Excellent. Very angry at the situation you're in, which is probably not a surprise. That's good enough. Oh, I thought it was a 1 at first on that one. That's a 17 and a 1. The axe wedges itself into the side of the wall and holds you in place. You're gripping onto it easily. And while the water is firmly dragging you towards the who knows where, I don't think you're in too much trouble. You could hold this for the entire time if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It doesn't solve the problem. You're still in the water and nowhere near anybody. But
But at least I'm not going anywhere.
You're strong enough, and at this moment you're probably looking
Yeah,
at
have you
this,
seen my core?
Big Des and Troy.
And my 6 friends.
Now you like how I imagine everyone else is at the gym when they stop and look at themselves in the mirror and go, yeah, that's how that's supposed to look. And when I go briskly past them in the background. Sorry, everyone, I'm just here to be the before picture. Real Morrigan.
Oh, real Morrigan.
Real Morrigan. What would you like to do?
So I'm closer to Freya and fake Morrigan than I am Kaa'Riin.
Probably the same distance apart, to be honest.
Can I use my telepathic tattoo-y thing and talk to both of them at once?
You can.
Yay!
Yes.
Right.
I should point out, they'll just hear a voice. They won't be able to attribute that voice to you.
Unless you say hi, it's me.
because I'll just hear
Morrigan.
a voice and I'll turn around and see 2 Morrigans and go, that didn't help.
Yeah.
Does she have our tattoo, fake Morrigan?
You would not know that. In the last episode, she looked at your tattoo and then decided not to kill you.
Right, yeah. She was like, I've got things to do or something. Just side question. I see that she can turn into a spider. Is that like a giant spider that could carry us on her back? Or
It's a very big spider.
Okay.
Yeah. It is meant to be almost as big as the bear.
Okay,
So,
yeah. I was wondering if that was the vibe. Okay. Freya's like, I'll just drown.
I'd rather die.
I wish this wasn't a podcast. I wish it was just filmed so people could have seen Indy's face just now. It honestly looked like she's about to throw up on the table.
Utterly disgusted by the concept, wasn't she?
Okay, Morrigan, what you got to say?
Yes. Okay, I'd like to use my telepathic abilities to say to Freya, watch out, that's not me that you're with. And to tell Kaa'Riin that Freya is in trouble.
In your head, you hear all of that, and then you hear, that's exactly what I would say if I was her.
Oh, no! I've got a plan.
You realise that, yes, there must be similarities in your tattoos that are so close that she can hear you and you can hear her.
I've got a plan. I go, okay, real Morrigan would know what I asked for in my backpack in episode 2.
She probably wouldn't call it episode 2.
Of emergencies. Sorry. Then what have I asked extra for in my sweet backpack? Sign it to me.
Sign it to me. Or just telepathically say it.
Telepathically say it. Sign it to me. So I can identify which one you are. Is what I meant.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you could telepathically say it, but I'd be like, which one said that?
Yeah.
So give me a sign.
All right, so one of the two Morrigans is about to give you the symbol for
underwear.
So what is
Which
the symbol?
like,
Can you describe to me what the
language,
sign?
It's not like Auslan that we actually know.
Yeah.
No, I get
More
that.
like, can you describe
How
to me
you-
how you would sign to somebody what underpants are in a way that they go, oh, that is clearly underpants.
I am honestly not even, like, I'm going to lift up the slit in my skirt and point at my underwear.
There's our
Just
girl.
like-
There's our girl. Freya, run,
Freya,
bitch.
you notice that the Morrigan in front of you does not show you her underwear.
Damn. I could have got a close-up.
Now, the fake Morrigan very quickly starts to realise the change in the room and says, this has gone on long enough, little one. Why are you with these fools? You could be with us. Join me and I'll take you back to Kaa'Riin, back to the guild. You can earn your mask again, rejoin the guild. They'll forgive you.
No.
Bye. No. I'm joking.
Now we're going to do a whole new system of gaming.
She becomes the villain that we're playing against.
So is what she's describing the castle or the place that disappears?
No,
does not sound like
she's
that.
describing a guild. She belongs to the guild of the Nine Lives, and they're a group of assassins. And I guess the implication is that she says, in particular, you can earn your mask again.
So I was part of that group before, and I've left.
And you don't seem to
Exit
have
stage
the
left.
mask. Yeah,
Exit stage left.
You've bailed in some way.
Well, obviously I left for a reason, so I'm not going to go back.
Oh, but she says, this world, this land that we're part of has so little time remaining. We've made a deal to ensure our survival when it all ends. Just come with us and we can be family again.
We're your family, Freya.
She puts out her hand again.
No, I'm going to sneak attack.
Chop off her hand.
I love Indy's sneak attacks. I don't think she's ever used one right once.
As soon as you think, you see something in her eye, something that says that perhaps she's about to attack you. And upon doing that, you realise that you have another skill. And this is where it came from.
Flashbacks.
Hi, my name is Ray, and I'm playing the memory of Freya. In every decent city, where the good people live, the well-dressed enjoy long lunches, and even longer iced teas, brushing aside perfect wisps of hair as they discuss the difficulties of the day. In every decent city, where the good people live, there are thoughtful glances exchanged amongst the wise, furrowed brows shared between the honest lawmakers, and well-manicured beards cautiously stroked as decisions were made. And in every decent city, where the good people live, there are back roads and alleys where you live. And in every decent city, there is indecency. There is indecency. There is indecency. And now it is embodied in the firm grasp of thick, sausage-like fingers wrapped around the scrawny throat of... It doesn't matter who. You don't even see their faces. You see injustice. You see inequity. You see exploitation. You see a weak spot. And he never sees you coming. Your blade buries deep, cuts his life from whatever kept it tethered here, and the bag of meat falls. And you slide back to the alleys behind, where the good people live.
That's cool. That's
Bag of meat falls. That was great.
That was great.
So well done.
Now, just as she sees you consider doing the same maneuver, she says, "Why am I not surprised? The wrath you have brought down upon your little orphans is well deserved. To make a guild of children. What were you thinking?"
Oh, that's Freya! Freya, that's so naughty.
That's cool.
That's great. They were kids.
Child soldiers.
More along
They're
the lines
mine.
of, kids, you kept them alive more than anything else. I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
right.
that's how you're going to remember it. And of course, everybody tells the story the way they want to remember it. But yeah, those kids weren't being helped by the orphanage and helped them in another way.
You gave them other skills.
Yeah.
Yes.
And they're not running around stabbing people, but the story we just heard was you saving one of the kids being held against their will, obviously. As this happens, just as you two are about to go to war on double sneak attacks while you're looking at each other, rocks start to fall from the top of the roof, and everyone roll for me either a dexterity or an acrobatics or a strength check. That's a 4.
Yeah, I got a 4 too.
Oh, it's a strength for you, though. You're still at advantage because you're raging,
What is
so you
it?
get another roll.
A 10.
Cool. +1 for dexterity.
14.
I only got 9 altogether.
All right, everybody who rolled more than 10. Huge rocks tumble from the walls of the cavern, but you manage to slide aside or push yourself free or flip out of the way or leap to a safe section of the ledge or anything that gets you out of the way. Freya, one of them hits you and only knocks you down and also probably knocks you away from the attack that you're about to.
But I get up again.
Go down.
All right, so
I don't know any more words.
yeah, you cast tub thumping. Apparently, that's your special skill.
Just one more thing. I've had the wind knocked out of me.
Finally, a fart joke. We've waited so long. Roll me a d20. At this stage, it's not likely you're going to get rid of this.
10, and what am I adding anything?
No, that's just you had a very small chance that you were going to get rid of your gas. But apparently you've still got a little bit more to go.
That's right.
You have probably disgusted fake Morrigan, though, so that's handy.
It's the aim of the game.
Kaa'Riin, what would you like to do? You're still hanging on, but they didn't knock you anywhere, yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay, so I think now it's time for me to swing up. I'm going to get like a little bit of momentum, right? I'm going to swing, I'm going to flip up. As I do that, I'm going to transform into a rat and get onto those edges, and I'm just going to crawl my way over to Freya.
That's just eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
It's like,
Who will I
you're
save?
fine, you're knocked out.
I'm stranded, but I'm not next to an assassin.
Yeah, so I was just trying to think what would happen to you. I was like, no, you're fine.
This will hopefully freak you out a little bit. That your friend, who was probably a bear, a little hard to believe, and now you're like, and now she's turning into a rat.
Yes.
Yes, they're going to see
That's
this
going
happen.
to be scary. But I did just fart.
Yeah.
So you're like, this
And
is more
rats
scary.
who live in sewers can handle that situation. So, hence, there was many options.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the rat, and I'm going to
Bonding.
scurry on over to you. In fact, I'm going to love that smell.
Yeah. Oh, dear. You can actually make the entire distance. It's actually pretty close, and you've got enough space you can get to the same ledge.
I would like a boat. Can I roll for perception to see if there's anything useful to get us out of here and exit? A large enough boulders that have fallen down now for me to jump across to where they're at?
You've gone full Mario Kart on the You want a Nintendo 64 your way out of here.
Yes.
All right, good. Yeah, give me another perception check. See what happens.
That's a 6. I'm very aware of what's going on right now.
Yeah, right now you're looking around going, man, I'd like a boat. You really are thinking, I wanted a boat.
But I'm just looking like directly down, nowhere else. Wait, this is just impossible, guys.
I've looked everywhere.
Well, we'll get to the part that I guess matters now. Roll initiative. You are fighting.
Ooh.
So let's get me. Kaa'Riin, don't forget you are a rat right now. And how many hit points does a rat have?
Shit, I just found it.
Yeah, it's a 1, isn't it?
It's a 1.
One of the things about being an animal is if something hits you hard enough and they take away the hit points to the animal, you then take the next lot of hit points away from the person.
Yeah.
Which are also low at the moment, so...
Yeah, so they can still
do that.
damage you, but only if you picked an animal very low hit points. But I think you picked the right one to get where you need to be.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Kaa'Riin, what was your initiative?
6.
Freya, your initiative?
I had 5. Total sum.
Morrigan, your initiative?
I rolled a 19 and +1 makes 20.
That's not too bad.
Not
And
too bad.
the assassin will go after you. So Morrigan, you're up first. What would you like to do?
Well, that's an excellent question. I'm going to throw a firebolt at the person that looks like me.
Yep.
But not me.
What about
Okay.
the methane in the air?
Is it just I didn't really make the rules so that every time you told a fart joke you got to roll, but I prefer that now. So roll again to see if you lose your need to tell fart jokes.
That is a 6.
Ooh,
Close.
you're getting close. Okay, so I'm going up by 2 each time. So you had to be a 1 or a 2 the first time to lose it. Now it's 3 or 4. So we'll see how much longer you can hold on. Morrigan, you fire a bolt of fire at this assassin.
I rolled it where I can't see it.
It looks like a 20.
It's a 2.
Oh.
Which again is why I didn't want to shoot fire at the direction of my 2 friends.
So the fireball goes flying across, and just as you thought it might, it hits mostly methane and just bursts into a wonderful display of fireworks and dissipates before it can get there. But in good news, it no longer smells. It's like when someone goes to an Outback Dining and says, wave a match. So well done. The assassin turns to Freya and tries to stab straight down. This is actually pretty bad for you because when you're prone, that gives the enemy advantage. And what's the point of having advantage when one of them is a 1? So she, it's a 19. What's your armor class again?
15.
So this hits, and she will do.
Oh no!
And she can't use a shield or anything.
Do you still have your shield? Have you used up your spell slots? Is what I'm saying.
No, I haven't. Don't think I have.
You can use your shield. And the shield is how much on top of your armor class? 5, isn't it?
5.
5. So your armor class would now go to
20.
And for some strange reason, she stabs directly down into you and misses as the shield deflects.
What a dumbass.
That insult thing's still there. I like that.
The insult thing we don't have to roll for. You can just do that whenever you want. All right. We're back around to... We're not back around. We're to Kaa'Riin, who is currently in...
Am I still raging?
You're still... No, you're a rat.
Rat
well,
raging?
actually, you would be raging, but you couldn't attack anything while you're in rat form. And you've got to... When you're raging, you've got to keep maintaining the rage. You just ran over instead to get to her. I guess you could have at that time jumped at her and attacked and maintained your rage, but I think probably... I don't know if that was your plan to stay as a rat and keep fighting.
Bring it! I could be a fucking bear. Why am I like... nip, nip, nip. Like... Yeah. Deflected. But she's not hurt from that boulder
Not
before?
hurt. No, she's not. She's on the ground.
She can get back.
But she can get back up when she's ready.
She can get back up when she's ready. Fine. Okay, you're okay. In that case, I think I've got 1 transform left.
Well, you were already a bear.
Yeah. Then I turned into myself, which you said was a bonus.
Bonus action. Each round of fighting has an action, which is like your major move, usually the attack. A movement, which you can trade in your action and do a double movement, so you can move like sprinting instead of jogging sort of thing. So you've got a movement, you've got an action, and you've got this bonus action. And you can only do a bonus action if you've got something that actually lets you do a bonus action. A lot of people like me play it so that you've got what used to be called a minor action, but is simply just if you want to do something else that isn't too massive, like, I want to run out of the room and grab the fork on the way out. We don't go, no, you don't have enough actions. So you can do little things, but a bonus one is an extra one on top of that as well.
So I've already gone from bear.
You can do wild shape twice between each short rest. So you just need a break basically to get some, your breath back of, say, half an hour, and you'll be okay. At the moment, though, you have already been a bear, and you've now also turned into...
I can't change.
A rat. You can change back to you.
Oh, that's okay then. All right. You're going to have to do that.
All right. So what would you like to do?
Yep, so I'm going to transform back into myself.
Your axe is still in the wall over there, though. That's
No, but it's a boomerang axe.
It's my boomerang axe. So I morph very sexily back into myself. Bitch is like, what's going on? She's making eye contact with me, but I don't even break eye contact as I put my arm out for my axe that just comes back to me like, and then I just swing it up. I'm like, boom! And I go for the neck. That's where I'm going for.
Just going for the neck?
Yeah, I'm sick of this bitch. I'm like, sorry that you look like Morrigan. Sorry, boo, love you. And then I just swing.
All right.
I mean, you've seen my head on the ground before because of that statue. Might be that shocking.
When you said morph sexually,
From a rat.
I envisioned, yeah. And then when you got to full human, except you just had the teeth.
And then she's just kind of biting her lip as she sucks them back in.
Is that an option? Can I keep the teeth?
So the teeth are still in, and I'm going to add a rat's tail at the back of the head.
So 15 plus 5 is 20. So it's not a crit.
A dirty 20.
Not a natural 20.
Yeah, a natural 20. You can have a dirty 20. They call it
I
that.
like that.
All right, so you're on a dirty 20, and how much damage is that?
3 plus 3 equals 6.
Hey, I think we're getting the hang of it.
I didn't know.
Well, it's strange that you're finally getting the
math.
hang of it, and I have to point out, you've killed her.
Oh!
How would you like her to die? Describe to me the death.
Please don't make it too gory. I've got a weak stomach.
Okay. Make it gory. Okay. All right, so I went for the neck, right?
Yeah.
So it didn't chop the head right off. What's happening is blood is gushing from her throat.
All over Freya.
All over Freya. And Freya's like, I thought the spider was bad.
The blood of my people.
Is that my mum or my sister? I was about to make her a family member.
Oh, wow.
I was just like, Freya, I'm your mother.
Well, the good news is she's not your mother. She's just untrustworthy to the last breath. But she dies in front of you, and just as before, you see the tattoo.
I'm sorry, do you think I was done killing her?
Oh, okay. But there's more.
I'm knocked out by this stage.
It's 25 minutes later, and then I skin her, and finally I make Jimmy's shoes out of her.
Take her shoes.
Oh my God, that's a great idea. All right.
Wait, I thought it was going to turn into a chant. Take her shoes. Take her shoes.
I'm screaming from the ledge. Take her shoes.
Remarkably, in this world, all the shoes are the same size. No one cares.
Yeah.
You steal someone's shoes and they just fit. They automatically fit.
Okay, so the
She
blood's
had my
gushing.
skin on. They have to fit me.
Yeah, that's
true.
true. That's all. These are technicalities no one talks about. Is what happens to changeling shoes.
We should have an episode called You Can't Ask That. It's like so... when you turn into a dude, do you have a fiddle?
If you turn into someone who's gluten intolerant, are you gluten intolerant?
Have you ever turned into a changeling and then accidentally hooked up with your brother because like they were in a different form? But we digress.
So, how many erogenous zones did you make?
Do you have autonomy
I was
over
like
that?
I was like Velcro.
Oh.
And such is the end of the assassin.
And so blood's pouring. She's like, I'm your mother. And then she's dying. And I'm like, yo, Morrigan, doll, do you want these shoes or not? Because they look fantastic on her.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Chuck them in your bag.
Yeah, I'm going to put them in here with your, like, stick of many pieces.
I actually have a really serious question.
Can you wear those shoes out of season?
So she's turned into me. Does she stay as me when she dies?
No, I'm waiting for that bit to the death bit to finish.
I
to
want the
explain
extra
last.
gems.
Oh no, they're just fake.
Okay.
The illusion of extra gems.
Never
Yeah,
mind.
nice
Okay.
idea.
So I'm taking her shoes off and she's like,
For those people who are listening, this is still part of the death.
she's gurgling.
I would have thought you'd put her shoes on to kill her. I would have done. Put on her Jimmy shoes for her own death.
Well, they're for Morrigan. They're in the back.
Excellent. As she falls, she drops the cat mask, to the ground. And
I'm going to go and pick it up.
that's wise.
Thank you.
She fades away, and so does the tattoo, much like the one you saw on the soldier on the beach. It just turns into different layers and lifts away from her and is gone. As quickly as it started, or perhaps not quite that quickly, the water does start to subside a little bit, leaving a lightly flowing creek behind. And the beauty of the cavern returns. Soft light again lifts from the array of creatures and fauna that project their colour around the edges of the cave.
Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Imagine this. The best pasta sauce you have ever tasted sits abandoned on a plate. Wasted sauce. That is a tragedy. If only you had used Barilla al Bronzo pasta. Its bronze-cut texture holds your sauce and scoops up every last drop. The Italians call that scarpetta. Capture sauce the Italian way. Barilla al Bronzo. Click or tap the banner to find out more.
Choice Hotels get you more for your money so you can maximize any road trip. And as your vacation maximizationer, I'm going to make sure you hear the maximum sizzle of Comfort Inn's free hot breakfast. Let's get real close. Maximum apple. Now that's fresh crispimization. Maximum waffle. Hear that crunch. And that's maximum coffee. Oh yeah, that's the pour I'm talking about. Breakfast maximized before hitting the road. Check into more. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever find yourself playing the budgeting game? Well, with the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, you can find options that fit your budget and potentially lower your bills. Try it at progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
Roll me some perception.
8.
16?
18.
Okay, the colours of the chamber walls are mesmerising, Freya. They shift and sway like music rising and falling. You notice little holes of darkness in the ceiling, like tunnels or tubes where the light struggles to entertain. Occasionally the light reflects thin lines of brightness from the ceiling, but when you turn your head to focus on them, they're gone. You also notice the mushrooms that line the cavern floor start to right themselves.
Right themselves?
Yeah,
they're laying down and they stand up a bit?
They straighten themselves up.
Oh.
This must be,
Correct their mistakes.
This is probably how they survive the torrents of water that come through. In fact, all the creatures that have scurried away before are quickly moving back into the room. Insects, small marsupials, rodents, nothing larger than your hand. Morrigan and Kaa'Riin, you notice something strange about those mushrooms. They're moving. Slowly at first, but then faster on legs. Eight spindly legs.
Oh, no!
That's when you see the lines from
my
the ceiling.
people.
Long strands of web latching onto the walls just above the waterline.
Are they spiders?
Spider mushrooms.
Roll initiative again.
No! No, my motivation is to run.
18.
8 again.
16 again.
We just got all the same numbers.
Wait, what?
We just got all the same.
And mushroom spiders. And, they have gotten you by surprise. So, mushroom spiders are charging across the floor towards you.
Throwing fire.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
your
fire
turn.
the shit out of them.
You would do that as they climb you. So there are 6 of them. You're going to get 2 each. So, Morrigan, does a 16 beat your armor class?
Oh, my armor class is currently increased to 17. So, you know what? Fight me.
The two spiders climb up you. These two mushroom-sized spiders climb up you and try and inject their fangs into your body, only to find out that your body might look like flesh but actually feels like stone, so not good for them. Two are attacking you, Freya, and does a... Yes, it does. It's a 20 hit you.
I do have a shield, yes. Can I use it again?
How many times you've got spell slots, remember? That's a first level spell?
Yes, I have not been filling these in.
I have not been keeping up with that.
So, we'll just start now.
You have one left.
Right, okay.
If they get the same as you, they will get 20. If they get the same as your armor class, it hits.
I know,
Yeah,
no,
so
I
that's what
want
I'm
to
saying.
leave that.
So you don't use your shield, and one of them bites into you. Oh, okay. You take 4 damage. That's not much. It just happens to be poison damage.
Oh.
The mushroom spiders have this mysterious venom, and not surprisingly for mushrooms, it's slightly hallucinogenic. While the poison is inside you, it's starting to make you think unusual things. What's the first thing you think you know about your character?
I have large hands.
And this weird other large hand floating in front of you.
You just accidentally cast while you're doing that your mage hand, and also you're staring there looking at your mage hand also. I have such big hands.
Are they masculine?
Girls, you tell me if you thought I had masculine hands, right?
It'll only last one round while you sit there staring at your enlarged hands.
Okay.
Okay, Kaa'Riin, they're now attacking at you, and the best they can do on that one is a 14 against your armor class. What's your armor class?
14.
And they rolled a 14. So that does hit you, and that does just 2 points of damage to you. But you also injected with the hallucinogenic poison. What's the first thing you think you know about your own character? What comes to mind when you think Kaa'Riin?
Well, the first thing I think when I think Kaa'Riin, I think how pretty my axe is.
So Kaa'Riin just starts looking at her axe and how
sees
pretty
her
her
own
axe
reflection.
And how cool it is that it can just keep coming back.
She starts throwing it up and catching it, and everyone else is like, that's just gravity. That's not... That is your turn. Next in line for that was Kaa'Riin, who is kind of a bit lost looking at your axe. So you're at disadvantage on whatever attack you do.
So I've got 2 spiders on me.
You've got 2 spiders on you.
How big are they?
Size of a mushroom.
Such a good Such a good point. But
like a button mushroom.
as someone who likes to cook, I know there's many a mushrooms.
You're right, yeah. It's
Can they please
probably
be button mushrooms? They're adorable.
Like those
shiitake.
shiitake ones.
Yeah, I was thinking shiitake, but button mushrooms is about right.
I'm gonna treat it how I would a spider in the real world. I'm just gonna, oi, and I'm just gonna kill him with my hand. I'm just gonna smack him like, hey.
You're gonna smack the... Okay, that's just a normal melee attack.
Yeah. So a 12 and a 2.
So you
I just
somehow...
bruised my leg.
Yeah, they're very fast. And it's just like trying to slap at mozzies or something like that, and you missed them entirely. Technically, you could still move if you wanted to. You've had your attack. I don't know where you'd want to go, but if you want to do something else, you could do that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, since once again, like a real spider, I miss it, and I just start kind of like going like, you know, when you're stamping really fast, you're like, get off me, and I'm just kind of just like running around, being like, get off me, and they're like, oh, this is a lot of movement, and they just like fall off.
Yeah, they just hang on. Following up from Kaa'Riin is... Yeah, it's Morrigan. Morrigan, you're up.
Mm-hmm.
You have 2 spiders on you.
But I'm not tripping.
Not yet.
Hey.
They haven't bitten you yet, that's true.
Just ride the wave.
Morrigan, try this out.
Okay, can I use my gust to cantrip to blow them off me and then stomp on them?
That one is...
A save? SDR
Oh, it's a save. No, they have to save against it.
Yeah.
What sort of save is it, sorry? What sort of save is it?
Strength.
They don't have a lot of strength. One of them hangs on. I rolled a 19. And even at -4, that's still strong enough to beat it. The other one's 14, so it becomes a 10. One of them goes flying off in the distance, and...
I just wanted to shoot them onto the floor so we could stomp on them.
Oh, okay. You're just blasting down?
Down, so I can stomp.
Okay. One of them just goes flying down on the ground, and you don't get to actually have a follow-up attack, though, because you did your
that's
magic.
not a movement?
Isn't
it just a stomp?
I feel like that's a
Stomp
movement.
is a movement.
She did the stomping.
I did. I was like, no. But I feel like I feel like
Well, then I would like to step forward onto the mushroom.
accidentally onto the mushroom.
Yeah, okay.
Can't tell me there's not a movement.
Yes, you have stomped on one of the
Mhm.
spiders. There are still 5 that remain. Freya, it is your turn.
Yeah, I'm tripping.
Yeah, but that's because they
She's
did
looking
you.
at her hands.
Yeah, but
That's
it's
the
now
last thing
actually
I
your turn.
remember.
So you're looking at your hands. For some reason, there's also a giant floating hand between your other 2 hands. But you're still coherent enough to think, I don't like spiders.
Yeah. I'd like to turn my mage hand into a fly swatter.
You know those ones that they're like blue or yellow and
Yeah,
they're
in a
plastic?
hand?
Yeah, just the shape hand.
Yep. I want that.
Freya, you have invented a giant fly swatter with your mage hand.
That I have.
And you're going to attack with that, which is a little unusual, but I'm going to let it go.
So I need to roll.
Yeah, and you know what? Mage hand, I don't think would be at disadvantage. So let's see whether you hit him.
Yep, I got a 13.
And I'm going to add your melee attack to the mage hand, so that's normally plus...
+1.
What did you roll again?
13.
So 13 plus 1 is 14 for you listeners at home.
Actually, can I change my answer to what advice I give to new players? Bone up on basic math, like just addition and subtraction.
Put like one of those timetables on the toilet door, like your parents used to do.
Yeah.
No one uses that, so you learn your timetables. Yeah. Remember as a little kid doing my little number 2s and be like 10 plus 4 is
A D&D maths chart. The good news is you have killed both of these little mushroom spiders. So that takes us down to just 3 remaining, 2 of which are on Kaa'Riin and 1 of which is on Morrigan. And we're back to their turn.
Guys, can I have one of your mushrooms?
I killed mine.
Yeah. I didn't really want to do that.
Fair question, because there's a difference between something being venomous and poisonous.
Yep.
And these things bit us to inject us. Could we eat them and kill them and it wouldn't affect us?
Yeah,
I think it'd probably have the absolute same effect on you if you ate them. Like
So
the
they're both
poison
poisonous and venomous.
Yeah, it's like it says poison, but it really says venom.
Yeah, okay, cool.
We're about to have something a bit unusual. We haven't done this before. This is called a lair action. A lair action is when you're fighting against a creature that has its own lair, and sometimes that lair does things as well. All right, the things in the room. So what we'll do here is I'll get you all to do. Can everyone roll for me a dexterity saving check? So that's same sort of thing. Oh, Freya, what did you get for your dex save there?
18 plus 3.
Oh, damn.
So I got 21.
Morrigan.
10 plus 0, which I believe is still 10.
My toilet math is still correct.
Alrighty, Kaa'Riin.
6 plus 1 and still equals
Is
7.
it still equaling 7?
We
Good.
get marks for our answer and our working out.
Freya, out of the corner of your eye, you notice light reflect from a strand of a web. Just in time, you step to its side. Kaa'Riin and Morrigan, you feel the stickiness of a web strand against your arm, and as you try and pull it away, it seems as though it attaches itself even further. Then you hear a snap. With a lurch, you are lifted from the ground and find yourself hurtling through the air towards one of the tunnels in the roof. In its shadows, you see 2 fangs tense, and they ready themselves for a meal. You will be at disadvantage until you can free your arm. So you are currently hurtling through the air towards a tunnel, and you can see the fangs of that animal.
Thank fuck I missed that.
Good luck, guys.
Redback spiders put a web down to the ground, and it's tenuously attached to the ground. And when a creature crawls along and touches the web, it pulls it up to the...
That is terrifying.
That is actually
Fortunately,
terrifying.
they are very, very small. But in this world... So this is really good for anybody who's like an international listener is going, that's not how webs work. I'm like, bam, redbacks, baby.
Yeah, welcome to Australia.
Australia.
Yeah, Australia.
Yeah.
So they've got webs that are similar to redbacks, and nothing else is the same as them. But they are much, much larger than the little ones.
Still mushrooms?
The sort of things like you're going towards a size of a tunnel.
mushroom redbacks?
They're still called mushroom brood spiders.
Oh, cool.
But they're much, much larger. They're like the
A
ones
bit more
that make-
brutish.
Yeah, that's what they mean by brooding. The spiders that are up there just sort of going on about how difficult life is. And, I'm just going to hang out in the corner.
Oh, I thought you were saying brutish.
No. Like they're all Angel from that. Well, from Angel.
Yes!
all of our mushroom brood spiders have dark, long coats and refuse to come into the light. So
I used it very seriously, and I was like, "Wow, how are they reading
I'm just going to. I'll be here all week, people. I've got many jokes about brooding.
That was so good.
So, anyway, these ones are all behaving like Cory from Year 7. Yeah, you're flying through the air. Your initiative still stands. These two new things appear. And Kaa'Riin, the one you are flying towards, actually gets to go before you. And it's going to try and grab you.
I think I'm going to have bad dreams tonight.
That's an 18 to hit you.
And that hits me. What happened? That face doesn't look good.
No, because I'm rolling really well. I'm so sorry, everybody. That's 11 points of damage.
Oh, the math ain't good.
So I've only got 1 point left of...
Oh, no.
Like, I'm close to death.
Yeah. It's all right. You're only flying towards, or you're now inside the tunnel with this big spider.
I feel really upset, like I'm going to die.
She's still raging, isn't she?
No, but you do have a rage left. I don't think you've done a rage. So you've got a rage left.
Can I do something here?
Because isn't there like death saving throws or something?
I'm just like really upset right now, guys. Okay, hold on. I've got to just write down my math of 1 point. It has been an honor playing with you guys.
It is actually your turn, Kaa'Riin, after that all occurs.
Okay, and I'm going to use my healing word.
Okay, so 1d4 plus 2, if I'm not wrong.
What does that even mean again? Sorry, 1d4.
So the 1d4 is the 4-sided dice. That's the little triangle.
Oh, we finally get to use... Oh!
It feels like you want more. This puny little dice.
I was wondering what this one was for.
How do you read it?
So the number
You
when
add
you
them
roll,
up.
it's the one at the top.
You add them all up. I like that. Plus, yeah, then it says plus 2.
You add 2 to your roll, and that's how many hit points you're getting back.
How do I tell which number that is?
All the numbers at the top are 2.
Oh, I thought they all had different.
That's what you mean at the top.
4 hit points.
This also says it's a bonus action. Does that mean I can still do another action?
Yes, so you still have an action, which means you can still attack.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. Should I use my primal surgery?
To remove the spider's appendix.
You have primal savagery, and it is actually pretty cool on its own. It basically means that your fingernails and your teeth, or combinations of, start to grow, and acid starts to come out of them.
Yeah, that's what I like about that.
Yeah.
That's
So you're
mad.
gonna do that one?
Yeah. I didn't get to use my word, though.
Well, what was your healing word?
I haven't made one up. But it's going to be...
No pressure, but it's a big deal now.
I know. It's going to be forever.
No, it can be situational. It's a little bit like the hand.
It's not situational.
You have one healing
Oh, I
word.
like that. Oh, okay.
But no, you can definitely make this up every single time.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
So your word is okay.
No!
This one more time.
Even the spider stops.
Stop. Everyone stop. I'm looking for a pun.
It's only one word.
Shut up. What? I only get one word. It can't be like a catchphrase.
It's a healing phrase.
Not on my watch.
or bite me, because they're spiders.
Yeah.
All right, you now have healing phrase. So it's no longer called healing word,
I'll
it's healing
change
phrase.
that.
Excellent. I love
Okay.
it. And you've gone for?
Oh, bite me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So your healing phrase is bite me. And you've also going to attack it with your new skill.
Primal savagery. I'm just swiping those nails like down on his guts there. Just like...
And that's +4. Excellent. So roll your d20 and add 4.
So 8 plus 4 equals 12.
Did you try and bite the spider?
No, I just swiped.
You went for. I was going to say, if you're trying to bite the spider halfway there, you went, no, hell no, I don't want to do that. Just changed
I
your
was
mind.
just swiping with my acid.
Yeah, you went across the back of it, but it didn't get the acid inside.
Not like a little drip on the spider.
Not enough.
Not
They're
enough.
big things, and it just didn't do anything. It stayed on the fur.
Ew.
It's like water off a
Oh,
spider's
yuck. Don't
back.
put the imagery. Now I'm thinking of spiders. Ugh.
Large furry spider with acid on its back that you put there. Yeah. All right, that happened. Following on from that one, Morrigan, you are also hurtling towards the spider. Well, you're in the tunnel with the spider now. You're now in there. So what would you like to do?
Alright, so I'm already in the tunnel with the thing.
Yeah, it's got you right up there, and it's getting ready. Well, it's had a shot at you already and failed.
Is the web still attached to me?
Yes, that's why you're at disadvantage.
Okay. And I can do a movement and an attack, right?
Yep.
Okay, I would like to, because I've got a bungee cord anyway. I'm going to try to jump back out of the tunnel as I turn towards the spider and shoot a firebolt at it.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I very much like that. All right, launch. It's not good. It's a 10.
Plus 5, 15.
Oh, it is good. 15 does beat their armor class, so roll your damage.
I rolled a 1, but luckily I have a plus 0, so that's still a 1.
All right, you lightly sear a spider.
Singe its eyebrows.
Toast it. And I'm flying out of the tunnel.
You are hurtling through the air towards the ground, really. So I guess at this some stage you're like, I hope there is enough of this, even though it came from the ground.
Well, no, it must have had enough for it to
It was touching the ground when it got you. Well, not touching the ground. It's kind of touching the side, so I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, I think I'll be fine.
Although if it was touching the ground,
no stress.
You would have it precisely enough to hit the ground. Freya, it is your turn. You have, for some reason, a giant swatter in front of your face, which is probably not big enough to do anything to these guys, I should say.
Radio. So how far away am I from these guys? Like meterage?
Meterage. You're within range of being able to get to them. Going up a wall could be a bit difficult.
Can you just slice the web that's attached to me?
Yes. Can I do that?
Absolutely.
Or use Featherfall or something?
Radio. I'm going to try and... So there's no little creepy ones hanging around.
Like, just be clear.
Is there still
I would say
one
with
on
you
me
guys,
and 2 on her?
they would have hurtled off when you went
Okay.
flying. So,
Okay,
but that doesn't
great.
mean they're dead. They just flew
they're
off.
elsewhere.
So there are at least 3 still out there.
Radio.
And it's not like the ground wasn't, when we first came in here, I did describe a lot of mushrooms.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that, if spiders like to look like things, it doesn't mean some of those mushrooms aren't real.
Right. I'm going to run over and slice their webs, but also featherfall them.
All right, Kaa'Riin's in the tunnel, so... but yes, Morrigan is dangling or about to actually... I should point out that you did jump out using that as... you know what? Whatever. Cut the rope. Let's not think that through.
Snap!
Let's just, your friend's hurtling towards the ground and you're about to cut the web.
Or use Featherfall.
Featherfall!
Featherfall is...
If it's not a spell, don't waste your spell on me.
No, this is your last first level spell, yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. I got you.
But you can still move if you'd like to do something else.
Oh. No.
Just going to take it in.
Still
back to the hand.
Just look at your hand again.
Just going back to my hands. Now I have
3 of
small
these
hands.
things.
Starts foraging for mushrooms.
You're coming down a little bit. You're like, I could use another hit.
The spider in front of Kaa'Riin. Actually, no, the other spider who was with you is going to come out of the tunnel now and start scurrying down the sides. And I am definitely going to be playing that music that they play with violins when I put this back together later on. Coming down the wall and rearing up in front of Morrigan and having another bite. And hitting, I would imagine, because that's going to be a 24.
Ooh,
fuck off.
On your armor class.
Yeah, I got 17.
Yep. It's the correct way to treat that situation. If I got bitten by a spider, I'd probably just say fuck off. Just fuck off. You know who I am. I'm bigger than you. But if it was a giant spider, I'd be like, yeah, that sort of checks out. You're massive. Oh, good news for you. That only does 4 points of damage.
That's great news for me.
It is, because that was an 8-sided dice. So I rolled a 1.
Oh, I gotta die.
Back in form. So we're back to the other spider who has Kaa'Riin kind of... when spiders do that thing that I've only really seen in movies, but their legs start moving really quickly and they start trying to wrap something in the web.
Yeah.
It's doing that to you.
I don't like that.
Like the
for us.
Frodo.
Yeah.
You're wrapped up and he's moving really quickly and trying to put his web around you.
Oh.
I rolled a 2.
Okay.
So the good news is they are currently wrapping a shoe, perhaps a Jimmy shoe, wrapping a shoe, and it's really not having any impact on you whatsoever at this stage. It's struggling because you're struggling. It's struggling to get you.
I believe that spider's distracted. Do you?
I definitely think that if there was a nearby Freya, that would have been handy, because there's basically an arse of a spider hanging out a tunnel trying to figure out how to do things, or whatever it is, or the front's trying to do things. Definitely not paying attention, so that would make sense.
Yeah. Should I sneak attack?
You would if you'd moved close enough to do it.
Oh.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, you had a movement. And you didn't move closer.
So sorry, guys.
Your one chance to actually use your sneak attack.
So we are back to Kaa'Riin.
Yeah, I think it's time to just go with the axe.
Let's hit it with an axe.
Yeah, but I'm going to be
Which
like...
is how I kill most spiders.
Give me back my Jimmy shoe. I got that fair and square, bitch. Boom!
All right.
Axe it.
D20.
Yeah, 17 plus 5.
Hit big. Do me some damage.
6,
Plus,
3 equals 9.
having a big day. How would you like to kill that spider?
Oh, yes! Oh my god. Oh, yes, girls, want to chime in?
Do you just want to keep taking heads?
Should we just take a
gonna
fang?
be your thing?
Should we just start taking trophies?
After you kill it.
After we kill it, yeah.
Because
Okay.
we took the shoes from the chick, you took a hand from the mayor.
We gotta make a necklace though, like a toe. We should have taken a toenail, and then a fang.
So we're going to go straight down the back, that big chunky ass part.
The abdomen.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. No, I looked this up this week. Just in
Yeah, okay,
case.
good.
I was like, I might need to know some spider words.
And it just like starts fountaining.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just like fountaining, but it's not blood.
Yeah.
It's like
pus.
Thick, viscous liquid?
Yeah, like
Nice.
like their venom. Like, where do they store their venom? No, baby eggs. They're everywhere.
Oh.
I'm joking. No. Because I killed a spider once and that happened. Yes, me too. I was going on my real experiences. No, we're just gonna split it open, and it's just gonna like come really unbalanced, like oh shit, really discombobulated, and it's just gonna like fall. It's gonna fall.
Yeah, instant spider death. Legs go up straight away.
Yeah, but it's falling to the ground. It's gonna
Falls
fall next to its little friend.
Right.
That's next to Morrigan.
Right. So it might
And
be a
as
little
I'm
bit
falling,
intimidating.
I'm gonna fall onto it. I'm gonna land on it.
Well, you do have a movement.
Yeah. At which point I rip its fang off and add it to my backpack.
All right. Okay. Fairly brutal. Morrigan, it is your turn. There is a spider in front of you rearing up.
Yep. Because it just saw its
Your
dead
friend
little
is just
friend.
your friend has
That's
just
its
jumped
husband
out
right
of a
there.
hole. You've just so friend has just and watched babies go everywhere. This
So
is the
my
most
phone, I
horrendous.
cut that part out.
Put it back in.
My first movement is literally just going to be to applaud Kaa'Riin. That's my movement. And you can't tell me that's not a movement.
You've used your entire movement clapping.
Hey, but while you're doing that, then I'll sneak attack.
Actually, it's not the worst idea. It would be distracted by its dead husband.
Well, I'm either going to succeed in what I want to do or fail miserably and cause a distraction, hopefully, for you.
Done.
I'm going to try again to shoot fire, but at this point, I'm going to have to swap all my fire spells for, like, ice spells or something because
Rightio.
they're not rolling well.
All right. What do
But
you got
I'm going
for
to try
me?
this firebolt again towards this spider that's come after me.
Excellent. Let's go for it. That's a 19.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely hits.
19 plus 5.
Ball of fire comes out of your fingertips and hurtles into the face, a many-eyed face of a spider.
Did that kill it?
And it is an 8.
That's pretty. 8 plus?
Plus 0.
It is not dead yet, though, but it looks really unhappy. Okay, and I'm going to say it's still on fire. It's burning. You have now a burning spider. Freya, there was a burning spider screaming. It screams now.
husband, no.
Okay.
You've taken everything from me. My children.
My pretties.
What's wrong? What's wrong with you people?
Well, I was going to be going around collecting mushrooms for our roast spider, but it's not done yet. So I think I'm just going to use my good old sword and just jump up and stab it.
What is the name of that sword again?
The Sword of Deception.
The sword of deception.
You could have used a sneak attack.
You can still do that. You use
I'm
your
going to
sword.
combine them.
Yeah, you do. Your sneak attack
Great.
basically is your attack
Oh,
with
okay.
extra.
Great.
So do your sword of deception attack first.
13 plus 6,
Definitely hits. Now have a look at your sneak attack because it'll tell you how much extra damage you're now adding.
2d6.
So that's 2 6-sided dice on top of the dice you're already rolling. So you can see why you want to do this as much as possible.
Yes. Does this ever run out?
Sneak attack? No?
Oh, double 6.
Yeah, it's well dead. All right, how do you describe this death of the last spider?
I'm thinking like, you know when someone claims land?
Your sword just goes into like a big
Goes
flag.
in, and then I stand there and look around.
I love that.
Because I'm out of my high now. So I'm thinking clearly.
That is so badass.
All right, so you wedge your sword downwards through the top of the spider and pin it to the ground proudly.
Quickly jump off because it's still smoking.
And you're still a bit grossed out.
Yeah, I don't like spiders.
I like them.
Okay. The spiders are gone. The little ones certainly aren't attacking you now. You've killed off some of the bigger ones, and the room is, for want of a better phrase, I guess, empty of threat for the time being. This may be a good time for you to consider having some sort of rest. Now, you can do the short rest. We've talked about those before. A short rest would mean you get to use some of your dice. You get a couple of hit dice, and you roll them. So I think you get you get a certain number of 8-sided dice or 6-sided, depending upon your character. You roll those and add those onto your hit points. That's if you decide to do a short rest. If you decide to do a long rest, it's a full sleep, like an 8-hour. Morrigan, you only do 4. And in a place like this, I would imagine you'd want to start setting someone on watch, if that makes sense. So it might take longer to have a long rest. But in doing so, you'll be fully refreshed. You get back all the different bits and pieces you want, your spells, the whole bit.
Even all your hit points?
Yeah, I'd prefer to go with yes for that.
Yeah, I'm thinking long.
Except I'm semi-conscious because I meditate.
Is that your deal? Oh.
Everyone has these unusual advantages, and every single time you hear one, you go, but I want that one now.
Yeah, you think like you always look at yourself, you're like, I'm the most badass thing in there, and you're like, wait, you don't need sleep, you just meditate.
You sleep and
Like,
4 hours.
fire comes out of a hand, and you can turn into a dozen animals, and you can turn into people, and you just go, man, which one do you want to be? And it's all of them. So, how would you like to organise some sort of rest in this situation?
Well, I say that you've got a healing thing too.
Yeah.
Why don't we both use our healing thing on Freya, and then while she's keeping watch, she's at the most hit point she can possibly have.
Oh yeah.
While we're sleeping, I'll be awake in 4 hours time anyway, and then trade off.
Yeah, and then trade over. Yep.
How many hit points do you have?
2.
All right, let's just roll and see how much hit points you get back before you go to sleep. You've also got one there called Goodberry, which is a spell that gives you...
Oh, I actually meant to ask about that. I don't understand it.
It's really weird. Goodberry works by you basically just hold your hand out and 10 berries appear in your hand, and each one of those, if you pop them in your mouth, gives you 1 hit point. So if you pop all 10 in, you get 10 hit points.
I'm just going to do that then. That sounds great.
And you can also do that to other people, and the berries last all day. So if someone gets knocked down and they're trying to live and you've got no stuff, you just jam a berry in and mush their face.
Yes. So you could even, like if you had a bunch of spells left before a rest, she could do that, keep berries in a bag, use a healing spell on us for the meantime, and then later... How long do they last?
The berries lose their potency if they have not been consumed within 24 hours of the casting of the spell.
Look, I reckon I'm just going to I'm peckish, so I'm going to just and I'm going to top the girls up. So I've had my berries because I'm at 5. Girls, are you hungry? Want some berries? Yeah?
Yeah.
Great.
What colour are they?
Oh, they're like a mulberry, like a wine colour.
Oh, yes, totally.
Yeah. I'm going to give you 12. So you're at 14. That leaves me with 4 more berries. And then I'm going to split that too, so you're going to be at 16. You're at 16. You two are at 16. I'm at 27.
Thank you.
Okay.
I cannot wait to edit that section.
Sorry.
And then you get 2, and then you get 2.
Maths is not my strong point.
Even if it was. I don't think even those people who call themselves math magicians or whatever they call themselves be sitting here excitedly going,
magicians.
2 for you and 2 for you. And,
2.
Right, fine.
I got 7 left, so let's even this out. It's equity.
Carry the 1.
If Kaa'Riin had 18 berries...
and the train was travelling at 15 kilometres an hour.
Which way was the smoke blowing? It was a steam train. There wasn't any smoke.
And she was still under the influence of magic mushrooms. How would she make sure her friends have even berries?
So how do we divide the berries?
Back to the start again. During the rest, Morrigan, you start to notice some unusual patterns in the cavern because you get to be awake a little bit longer. But I guess anybody who does a bit of a watch would also notice this sort of thing. So give me a perception check if you were one of the people who were awake. Kaa'Riin, you just slept through.
Yeah,
you're just like, I just have the full.
Stuff full of berries. So full.
15.
12.
So you both notice that the water seems to pulse through the chambers roughly every 15 minutes. always in the same direction and always preceded by a rush of air, like a noise that you can hear it coming. The creatures of the chamber seem to be aware of it just before the air, and they scurry into various places of safety. So you do have a little bit of an early warning system before the water might come through again. Nooks and crannies are where they all go to, and they hide in the mushroom spider tunnels. There seems to be good places for them to hide. Might not be good places for them to hide, I guess, if you're a rodent. The water itself only seems to last for about a minute each. Morrigan, you notice just one more thing. It's not just water. There's something spectral about it. It looks like a light blue mist that swirls above and into the water. On occasion, as it passes by, you could swear there is a face or faces in the mist that are looking back at you.
It's eerie as hell.
You could have had an Arcana check, a History check, or a Religion check. There are 3 different ways you could figure out what this might be. But because it's you, it's going to be Arcana, because you don't really have a religious or historic background. So give me an Arcana check.
That is 6 plus 4 is 10.
Well, certainly the water looks magic to you.
My instincts are shite. So when you were like, there's like a blue mist over it, I was like, my brain goes, I'll drink the water. And then you were like, there's a face. I'm like, nope.
But the face saw her too. The whispers began. So many sounds, blabbering hope, fumbling through fear, crisscrossing and thundering back into the tunnels. Silenced by the roar of a pumping flood, muzzled by the exhalation of stale air. Did you see her? Did you see her? Was there another? Did you see her? Was there another? Something. One of us. Did you see her? Did you see her? You didn't. You couldn't have. Did you see her? Maybe you're right. Is there another? Maybe you're right. I felt it too. No, I felt it too. Did you see her? No, you didn't. Of course. There are no others. Of course I'm right. But wouldn't it be wonderful? No. Don't do this to yourselves. Don't do this to yourselves. Don't hope for things beyond us. I felt it too. Especially in the hands of just one soul. You belong to the gods now. But wouldn't it be wonderful? Wouldn't it be wonderful? And then the voices were gone.
Just because I sleep longer, I'm going to let them get the rest they need so they get all their stuff back. Especially when we made Kaa'Riin use all of her berries for us. But noted. Faces in the water every 15 minutes. Let them know when they wake up. I'm going to follow my opposite of my instincts and just keep an eye on it, but do nothing.
The evening passes. I mean, you don't really know what time it is, but you have a bit of a rest. Everyone wakes up nice and refreshed. Your spell slots are back. You have your hit points back.
Hey, ladies. How you feeling?
Girl, so good.
Refreshed.
Yeah.
This has been
feeling
crazy,
strong.
right?
So thank you so much for keeping an eye out, by the way.
I totally got you guys.
Kaa'Riin is just covered, by the way, in berries just strewn in front of her clothes.
Her teeth are stained.
I'm like picking the berry skin out of my teeth. I slept like a logger.
Well, of course I've got you girls in terms of watching out for you. I mean, you packed extra underwear for us.
Yeah. In fact, actually, girls, are we due for a change? Oh. I'll just grab you some fresh. There's nothing.
I mean, Freya is after seeing a spider, a bear, and a rat. Like,
there is
my
nothing.
wind.
Cut to Freya down at the water washing the underwear.
Got one of those scrubby, those wooden.
Before you go down to that water, weird thing was happening while you guys were sleeping, but I wanted to let you rest because it wasn't harming anyone.
Oh, Morgan, I appreciate that.
But I kind of think I've been seeing faces in the water every 15 minutes.
Like dead body faces, or just like people swimming, or like the
creepy
water's turning into faces. Like, what do you mean?
Like, there's this blue glow, and I can't quite tell. I was hoping maybe you guys would get a better look or something.
Is it maybe like some spider venom you're just hallucinating, doll?
Well, I didn't get bit, girl.
Yeah, okay. Could be like some splash from like the axing and stuff.
If you guys could just have a look for me, it'd just make me feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I respect that.
Morrigan's a little bit more straight-laced, so she's... I didn't do any of the drugs.
Okay, before that though...
Look, I respect your choice to add them to the backpack. Yeah. That's your choice, but it's not my jam.
Totally. I was going to go to the bathroom first, but then we'll go down and have a look. So...
Oh, real world bathroom.
Yeah, real world.
Oh, okay.
In our world, and also in the other world, Kaa'Riin just buggers off to a tunnel.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, It's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
This episode is brought to you by Hulu, presenting Paradise. Paradise is Hulu's critically acclaimed addictive drama series, starring Sterling K. Brown, Julianne Nicholson, and James Marsden. The Daily Beast calls Paradise your next TV obsession, and the New York Times says it's exhilarating in all the right ways. Paradise is for your Emmy consideration in all categories, including Outstanding Drama Series. For more information, visit fyc.hulu.com.
Choosing a bottled Starbucks Frappuccino drink that's all flavor and just 100 calories? Easy. Choosing between creamy vanilla, double chocolate, and sea salt caramel flavors? A little harder. Try the delicious new Starbucks Frappuccino light drinks. Look for them wherever you buy groceries. Start with Starbucks coffee.
Welcome to the I Can't Sleep podcast with Benjamin Boster. If you're tired of sleepless nights, you'll love the I Can't Sleep podcast. I help quiet your mind by reading random articles from across the web to bore you to sleep with my soothing voice. Each episode provides enough interesting content to hold your attention, and then your mind lets you drift off. Find it wherever you get your podcasts. That's I Can't Sleep with Benjamin Boster.
So you wait a little bit of time until the next pulse comes through, and as I said, you now know they're every 15 minutes. You have a couple of options here, and you can probably look at your skill sheets here, because your choices are: you can do an Arcana check, which means your character probably has a decent understanding of how magic works. You can do a history check, which means your character does have some historical knowledge. Now, I know you don't have your memories back, but things are starting to come through much stronger than they were before, so this could simply spark a memory. And you can do a religion check. Maybe you understand religion quite well. So look at what you've got.
Can we not do investigation?
Not really. The investigation in this situation would probably tell you what you already know.
My Arcana is the highest, it's +4, so I'll do Arcana. Can I go again?
Yeah,
Okay.
so I would think that this would spark your interest.
Yeah. Cool. I'll go just religion then.
Cool. I'll go history.
All right, let's start then with Morrigan. Let's go with advantage for this one. You've really become preoccupied with this, so you're paying attention.
Sweet, 13 +4.
As you said beforehand, you kind of realise there must be something magical going on in this water, and it has sparked your interest. What you do know now is there seems to be, you can tell the type of magical schools that this magic has been created by. So there are different schools of magic, not like Harry Potter, but
Slytherin, damn it.
but the magical schools of necromancy and transmutation. Now, necromancy makes a lot of sense. It's things are being brought back to life, but necromancy can also be spirits, ghosts, that sort of gear, right? Transmutation is something being changed from the thing it was to the thing it is. Not too complicated, so it makes sense that it's, whatever's going on here is a combination of those things. It feels like an extraordinarily large amount of magic, more than you would expect of just one creature, or even a really powerful one. Now you can see what it is. There's so much magic, you can't really connect it to just one thing that you've seen. It's not one face, it's not even just one pulse. There's so much magic
Collective.
connected. Yeah.
Okay.
Kaa'Riin, let's see what you understand about the history, yes? Or
Religion.
13.
God, I thought it was a 20. I was like, I'm going to explain all
So
this.
plus a 1.
Okay. Kaa'Riin,
You're going to start me with the Old Testament. All right.
in the beginning, on the first day. All right. There is a unique feeling to the water for you as well, like a presence. You've heard of an event that can occur when a large number of souls are lost at once, that they become joined in their torment. So you've heard of this before through your knowledge of religion. Maybe it was in the back streets of whatever town you came from. People talk about these sort of things, but when a large number of people die, their torment ties their souls together.
In the one location?
In the one place.
At least they're together.
So a lot of people have died here.
Yeah, well, it is spinning through very quickly, this water. It's moving through very quickly. So they may not have died directly here, but something about this is tying them to this place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Freya, you were doing a history check. What'd you get?
I got a 12.
You have a memory of being told something about the heart of the mountain, but it seemed like it was a metaphorical story until you looked into it in greater detail. The heart of the mountain was apparently a beat that miners within these mountains would hear. They'd speak about this constant pulse, this constant thudding through the depths of the mountain. It was often associated with a myth about a mighty monster.
Is it a dragon?
No, maybe.
It is a dragon.
No, it's a mighty monster.
It's a dragon.
You don't know what sort it is.
It's a dragon.
I love how you're just guaranteeing yourself.
I'm guaranteeing it.
Deleting dragon. It's not. It's a dragoon. So what you gonna do with that?
Is it a dragon with guns? A dragon?
If we keep guessing things, it might well be. The cabin itself, now that you've had a little bit of time to look through it, seems to be alive with those creatures and colourful growth. The light is spectacular, all of it emanating from the life forms themselves. The collapsed lighthouse has blocked up the most obvious exit entirely, and it looks as though it would be quite some time until any rescue could come from above. You also notice a constant flow of seawater seeping through the ruins, which is probably a reminder that you are underneath the sea a little bit. The wreckage of the tower is now being inspected by some of the larger marsupials, still no bigger than your hand, of course. They move amongst a mix of kitchen equipment, wooden framework, broken bedding, bed sheets, large stone bricks, rope, that sort of crap.
Wow, your storytelling is getting...
I'm just giving you a very
That shit.
thorough list for no particular reason. The poor old wild magic gun is now nothing more than a crushed piece of metal. There are 4 exits out of the tunnel, 2 that the water came through and 2 that it went out. At best guess, the 2 inflows come from the north and northwest, while both outflows go towards the south-southwest. Sorry, I just started sounding like I was an old sea pirate. And going the south-southwest. While both outflows go towards the south-southwest. It is definitely time to think of getting out of here.
Get out of here.
Fuck you. I heard it too. And I thought maybe I could fix it. And you know what? I'm glad you said it because I wouldn't have been able to. It is definitely time to get out of here. How are you going to do that?
We found the remnants of the map. It was
Washed
like
away.
a little... Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, you don't know how far these tunnels go and how long it would take you to get through those tunnels.
Yeah, we get that.
Gotta risk it for the biscuit.
Towards the creepy faces or where the creepy faces are going?
Problem number 1.
Where they've come from or where they're going?
Going.
Yeah, I don't want to go towards whatever the hell's making them.
Do you want me to like turn into something that can just like scurry down quickly and check it out?
Do you have anything with sonar?
There are a lot of animals already here that are scurrying around.
Oh, can we talk to them?
Oh, yeah, I was going to go. Yeah, I can.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm going to ask the animals. Can I do that?
Yeah, sure. You can talk to animals. What would you like to ask?
Hey. 4 tunnels. Which is the way out of here to the safest spot possible? And I'm going to ask that adorable little marsupial.
There's a little marsupial. Again, just to make sure that everyone knows that this is an Australian podcast, if
Yeah.
they couldn't tell from the accent. There's all the people around the world going,
What's the
fuck's a
fucking
marsupial?
I'm going to ask the
Yeah, well.
marsupial because they're quite friendly.
Yeah, Google it. And that's one thing we all know. It's a quokka. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that quokka is
So-
not only going to tell me which one is going to guide me.
Yeah, the quokka looks at you in a gorgeous way, but I am now starting the idea that quokkas are assholes. So the quokka goes, what do you want to know? What? What do you want to know?
How do I get out of here safely?
Through the holes.
Which hole?
Well, okay, that's fair. I could have given more information. Look, where do you want to go?
Yeah. Girls, where do you want to go?
And what's in it for me? Have you got any food? I'd like some food.
Yeah, no worries. I got
I'm
some
sick of
berries.
eating these mushrooms. I'm sick of eating mushrooms. Have you seen the size of my hands?
We got some roasted spider.
Yes, okay, we can feed you, not a problem.
I can cook some spider for you real quick.
I've had enough of spider. I'd like something new, please. Do you have any food on you?
Do we have any of that root left?
I got some autumn root.
I thought you were going to give him what's left of the sniffle shade.
A quokka on crack.
He takes the autumn root and goes, well, you can't really eat this. You're supposed to smoke it. But anyway, it's fine. You guys think you know what you're talking about? Look, I know that if you head... Look, there aren't really a lot of exits in this place. There's just tunnels and chambers and tunnels and chambers. But if you head to the south, eventually there is a chamber, I think, that you can see some light through. It's about 2 or 3, I think. It's a couple. Look, it could be the next one. I don't remember. Go south. If you go north, you got to go with the water. If you go against the water, you're just going to get smashed when it comes through at the wrong time. And the tunnels, they take you about Oh, 30 minutes to get through a tunnel at a running speed if you're really moving.
What if we were a bear?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a quokka. What the fuck's a bear?
Enjoy that autumn brew.
Thanks for that. Yep.
If we go against the water in terms of, like, we have to go with the water if we're going to go a particular way. But if we go south, aren't we going against the water anyway?
The water is going towards the south. You'd be going with, but on occasion you'd have to go with the water because if you're not going to get through each tunnel before another burst is coming through, so you're going to need to figure out how you're going to get through that.
It's all right. I know how.
Okay, I'm glad you got a plan.
I got it.
Because I can't swim.
I got you.
Okay, so we're going south away from where the creepy faces are coming from. Is that cool with you guys?
We've picked a direction.
Yeah.
I reckon you've got about 10 minutes before the next lot of water comes.
15.
I say quokka took some time.
Yeah, fine.
Should we wait?
For the quokka.
I'm always so tired after these games just from laughing so much. Not so much that I'm tired specifically.
I think Freya means, do we wait for the next one to come through so we know we got the full 15 minutes?
Yeah. Okay, Freya, honey, look at me. You're not going to like this.
Okay.
Wow.
Are we going to ride the spider
We're going
out
to ride
here?
the spider out of here.
Oh, yes, we are.
I'm so sorry, honey.
A little spider carriage.
Right. Should we hollow out the burnt spider, get in that?
Okay. Make
We're
a
gonna
vessel
Bear
out of
Grylls
it.
And then we're like in a pod. And then we can just like go down.
Ride
And when
it
the
out.
water
In fact,
comes.
It'd be cozy, but
If we hollow out 2 of them, we can literally have a roof. So that if we get pushed
Yeah.
forward by the water, we're inside of something.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
you've got about 5 or so minutes until the next lot of water comes through to hollow out. I mean, I assume you're
Yeah,
going
so burn it out. Just like
you got to scoop it out with your.
Oh, with my mage hand. Yeah.
What does your
all
mage
hands
hand
on
look?
deck. That's you two mage hands.
What does your mage hand look like now?
Like a bucket on a excavator.
It's smallish, but it's still one of those.
Yeah,
All right, so we're
yeah.
scooping out burnt spider entrails and
Let's make a little submarine.
to make and it's got a little cabin that you're putting on top for
Yeah.
the 2 spiders.
Yeah.
The tears of the remaining spiders.
Can Morrigan still use her illusion to make it look like a nice boat? Because I'm disturbed.
A pumpkin chariot.
Oh, yeah.
But you've built this. Okay, hollowed out 2 spiders, sat inside them, pulled the top of one of the spiders on top, and then cast minor illusion so that you've made it look like.
Literally like Cinderella's pumpkin carriage. That's what it's going to look like.
Kaa'Riin and Freya fall
I love
for it
that.
straight away, mostly because I think at this stage they want to. So you hear the sound of the air again. You see the animals start to scurry away. Barry the quokka gives you a wave. Enjoy.
Barry gives us a little push into the water.
Yeah, Barry's not that keen on anything. He's like, have fun.
So nonchalant, Barry.
Barry, yeah, he's not the friendliest of quokkas.
So
We're going to set
turn
that
into
rumor
a quokka
straight.
now because I've seen him.
You did. Well, maybe you've got to be there for they're in their moment of death.
I can kill Barry.
Do you want to kill Barry?
Barry hears you. Fuck.
Oh, it's a willing creature. Sorry.
He's very unhappy about it. He takes one more shot of, he vapes the autumn root, sticks his finger up at the lot of you, waits for you to all get a selfie with the quokka, and then scurries off. And you hear the sound again. The air's coming through, and then the water starts rushing in. You can see the mystical, spectral lights flipping around it much more. You do see yet another face look you dead in the eye. It also comes around this time and looks at Kaa'Riin, and then ducks away.
Ooh.
You've hastily scooped out the internal organs and general gunk that you would normally find inside a spider. You've hopped in, pulled the husk of the other hollowed out spider on top to form some kind of submarine spider boat thingy. As the water is flooding into the cavern again and you are drifting rapidly towards one of the southern tunnels, you notice some of the water is seeping in through the hole made by Freya's sword of deception. And that's where we leave our story.
Don't worry about them. I'm sure they'll be fine. It's just a sudden ending. It happens all the time. So maybe there's danger or just a clever line. But don't worry about them. I'm sure they'll be fine. Right?
I fucking hate spiders.